Microcasting for your city. Talkapolis.
Bandwidth for today's show is brought to you by SoftLayer.com. We love SoftLayer here at Talkapolis. They are the greatest hosting company ever. They make everything easy. Check out their website at SoftLayer.com. Thanks again for sponsoring the show. Also by Nashville Violins, the string player's #1 choice for their string instrument needs. Nashville Violins offers everything from lessons to repairs. Make sure you check them out at NashvilleViolin.com.
You're watching Music Business Week. Our guest, Cathy Lemmon. Hi there, Cathy. Good to have you on the show.
I am so excited to be on this brand new format, Talkapolis.
Cutting edge.
Yes, sir.
Back when I moved to Nashville in the early 90s, when I got my first record deal, we spent a whole year developing. A lot of money, a lot of demos. Since those days, the music business has changed a lot, and artist development, those kinds of budgets, that kind of time that a label would spend developing, those days are gone. And I feel like you and your company have filled this really important place in the music industry. Tell us about the company.
That is so true, because I realized, I remember from years back when I used to go into the labels and pitch some of these artists, they told me, we don't do any more of the hand-holding, we don't do any more development, we don't have time, or I don't know if they don't have the budget, but they don't want to take the time to do that. So we felt it was a really good need that we could fulfill, and it's been a really great opportunity and experience to work with these wannabe singers and songwriters, because I've seen them blossom just from the development aspect, you know, from the co-writing. Most of these artists, they try to write and they're not really good at it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand how competitive it is in this business. So we get them with professional writers who've had major experience and success in getting songs cut by major artists. So that gives these artists really great songs, really competitive, marketable songs. And then, of course, working with vocal coaches and getting the best production from producers who know how to produce for this market, because, you know, these homespun cheap demos don't cut it these days.
No,
you know,
it's a little, you need a little bit better than the old garage band these days. And I was looking at your website, which is awesome. It's artistdevelopmentnetwork.com, and there's a big wide range of genres. It's not just country.
No, we even have hip-hop artists, believe it or not.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, there's so many different kinds. So how does it work? Like, do most of your artists who want to develop with you, are they already located in Nashville, or do they get in touch with you from other places and say, I've always wanted to be a country singer? Or
most of our artists come from actually out of state, sometimes even from out of the country. Yeah. We've got artists from Germany, Sweden, Mexico. I mean, they're from everywhere, lots of Canadians. But there's a few that are here in Nashville, but I'd say most of them are from out of state, and they find me usually on my website. A lot of times they're referred by other people in the industry. It's not uncommon to hear an artist call me up and tell me that they got my number from NSAI or from the CMA office or from a label, because they said, we don't take unsolicited material, you need to go through an agent. So that's what we do. We act as the agent for that artist.
And how did you get into this business?
It was kind of by, I don't know, just by chance, I guess. I started out as an artist myself. I came to Nashville in '93 and knocked on a few doors. I didn't know anybody and really didn't have any guidance or direction. So I was offered a record deal by an indie label out of Texas called Joey Records, San Antonio. And they wanted to sign me as a Hispanic artist, even though I'm not Hispanic. I know I look like, hola, but I'm not Hispanic. I'm actually half Japanese. My mother's from Tokyo.
Oh, interesting.
But I speak fluent Spanish, so I fool a lot of people. So I can sing in Spanish, but I just thought, do I want to learn all these songs in Spanish and forego trying to pursue a career in English, you know? So I turned it down. And I also thought about, you know, the reality of going on tour, because they offered me a tour bus.
You had children also at
that
point.
I had 4 kids under the age of 12, and I didn't want to. It's
impossible.
That's what I thought. I thought, I can't do this. I can't leave my husband and kids and go on the road. Plus, then my husband talked me into having child number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah. So so we have 5, and you know, it was really a blessing that this business just kind of fell in my lap, because it's so much fun. I get to stay home. It's still keeping me in the music. It's very creative. There's not one artist that's the same. You know, every project is different. It's very satisfying for me, because I can see how happy these clients are just from, you know, from where they started to where we end off. It's like night and day on the quality of their product.
Yeah, they become an artist in the process.
Absolutely. It's like they step up to the plate and really, I don't know, they really progress in that time that we develop them over that couple-week period.
Yeah.
I know it's only like 2 weeks that we do this, but you'd be surprised.
Do you ever say, I just don't think you're ready for this?
Oh yes, oh yes. I've had artists that are too old, too fat, just not talented.
Yeah.
They can't sing.
Yeah.
And what I do with those artists or those wannabe clients is I encourage them to write and just to stick to songwriting, because you can be 90 years old and, you know, look horrible and be a songwriter.
That's right. Everybody's looking for a good song.
Yes.
So you brought some music today?
I did. I've got several amazing artists that I would love to show off.
Okay, cool. Tell us about them.
Well, this first guy is Clint Freeman. He is from Florida. He's in the Marines. And you know, I'm trying to figure out where he found my information, but he came to me, and he's a pretty good writer, plays guitar. He performs around the Florida area, and we had him co-write with a bunch of our really amazing songwriters, and one of them was C.J. Watson. And this song, Countrified, you know, came about because of their collaboration, and we're real excited about it, so I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Cool. Let's check out a little bit. We got Clint Freeman. The song is called Countrified.
So she found a place on the edge of town where she could be among her own. That 9 to 5 takes up her life like a Dolly Parton song. She's the quiet type till Friday night, but when it comes along, it opens up a redneck street about 40 acres wide, and she gets countrified.
I like it.
Thank
Catchy.
you. Yeah, I'm hoping he gets a major record deal. He deserves it. He's worked very hard.
Okay, so you're saying this can happen in a matter of weeks. I get in touch with you, I send you some stuff. It could be, obviously it's very crude, it's probably going to be made on the computer,
Very
but you're
raw.
able to hear the voice and whether
Yes.
there's any songwriting talent. They come to you, you put them with the different writers, you get them in the studio, you
Right.
produce a 3-song demo, then they're at the point where they can go. Do you help them with the next steps?
Oh yes, oh yes. The first step obviously is to evaluate their songs and their vocal talent and the image, because obviously, like this girl here, I'll show you, Adriana Freeman, when she first came to me, this girl here, she was quite overweight when she first came to me, and I was very honest with her, and I just said, you know, you've got a lot of talent, you've got a great look, but you need to drop about 35 pounds. And she said, you know, no one's ever told me that. She said, I've been doing this for 10 years and nobody has ever told me that I need to lose weight.
No, well, I know what you're saying. You have to be brutally honest, right?
Yeah,
This is an image-driven era. We're
Yes.
using everything at our disposal.
Well, when someone says to me, but what about so-and-so, he's heavy or she's heavy, I said, you know what? They are so dang talented. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have the talent to carry them.
Right.
And if you don't have that, you've got to have, you know, you've got to have some balance. You've got to have the look, you know, the voice, the songwriting, all of that. And it's just so competitive. You don't want to give a label any reason to say no, and that's why I tell these artists, work on your looks, work on your image and your personality. Don't be boring on stage. You know, learn to have some good stage presence, learn how to do some choreography.
Entertain.
Yes.
Entertain the people.
Entertain. It's
Okay,
all
so
about
do
that.
you get them record deals? Does that
We
happen?
have had that. They're very few and far between. But remember Jessie Lee? She was on Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Wonderful girl. She came from Florida and moved here to Brentwood, Tennessee, and we helped her get her deal. And she got signed to Atlantic Records in New York, but ended up being produced by Paul Worley here in Nashville.
Oh yeah, we know Paul. They're right across the street.
Yeah, and she's awesome, and she's right now, I believe, in the middle of a new deal. So, you know.
So that all started with artists.
Yeah, I remember she used to come to our house. She was only like 16 years old, and she'd spend a couple of weeks. I would take her and drive her, because she didn't drive at that time. I would drive her to her writing appointments, and she was very dedicated. She went to her voice lessons, and she vocalized every day before she went out to do her writing sessions. She got out and performed as much as possible. She really worked hard and paid her dues, and that is the key. You know, people think, oh, I've got this great demo, and I'm a great singer, and I'm a great songwriter, and I want you to make me a star. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
They have got to make themselves a star first before a label's going to be interested. They've got to get out and, you know, hit the pavement and get out and perform and, you know, get their things going on Twitter and Facebook and MySpace and all that, Reverb Nation and all of that, because you know that that's part of marketing themselves.
Absolutely. Optimize everything. With a little tough love thrown in there. I like that. You're keeping it real with these artists and getting them to the next step.
Yeah.
Cathy Lemmon, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Going to bring some artists back on for us?
I would love to do that.
Awesome. You've been watching Music Business Week. I'm your host, Greta Gaines. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Microcasting for your city. Talkapolis.